Hi Sagittarius, welcome back to Carol's Universe Tarot Readings from the heart. So basically this is your second reading that was promised to you. So as you know, each of the signs, you're actually getting 3 readings each. One is your massive love reading, what's coming in, what I can see coming in for love in February 2018, the month of love, Valentine's. So that'll be focused on all you lovers out there, all you people who are looking for love. But this reading here is focusing on 2018, not February, but the whole of 2018, and how you guys go about finding true love in 2018. Now this is geared towards people who, you might be in a relationship, you might not be happy with who you're with, you might be with someone who's messing you around, somebody who's in and out but they're never consistent. It might be that you're not particularly consistent with the individual, Sagittarius. It might also be that you're single and you've been looking for true love, the real deal for a long time. And hopefully these readings are going to help to shed some light on maybe how you can go about really finding that this year for yourselves. So what we're using within this reading is we're using the Golden Tarot by Cat Black for this particular reading. These cards here. As your advice cards, again, it's a set of 3 advice cards. The first cards that we use are the Romance Angels by Doreen Virtue for your first piece of advice after the reading. The second deck that we use is the Guardian Angels tarot cards by Doreen Virtue, Radley Valentine as advice. And the third deck, now I found this online, it's £45 on Amazon, but I thought I'm not paying 45 quid for that, so I looked around on eBay, got it second hand, £12.99. This is Liz Dean, and this is the Love Tarot. It consists of only the major cards, and what we do at the end of the reading, we shuffle the cards and pick a card from the top of the deck, and that should be your lesson, the lesson that you need to learn in terms of finding true love in 2018 from one of the majors. So as usual, we're going to remove these cards from here, and we're going to take away the actual box for this, and then we're going to start shuffling the deck. Okay, so we're doing it in the same layout as we did there. How do you live the best life that you can in 2018? So Universe Spirit, show me how does Sagittarius find true love in 2018? What does Sagittarius need to do to find true love in 2018? How does Sagittarius find true love in 2018? What do they need to do to find true love? So this is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon and Rising signs. What does Sagittarius need to do to find true love in 2018? Show me what Sagittarius needs to do to find true love in 2018. What does Sagittarius need to do? Show me the root issue for Sagittarius. Why is the root issue for Sagittarius wanting to find true love? How has this evolved, or how has this impacted in terms of stage 2? So we've got the root issue for why they want to find true love, and as a result of that, in stage 1, what have they been doing? As a result of that, what have they been focusing on in terms of finding true love? Show me in position 3, what are their goals in terms of finding true love? Position 4, as a result of their goals, what are they focusing on for the year in terms of finding true love? What is their challenge in terms of finding true love? And in stage 2, how can they overcome this challenge? Stage 2, position 6. In position 7, stage 3, what is it that they need to continue doing in order to find true love? And who are Sagittarians in terms of love in 2018? How are they reacting to love? How they're responding to it? What is the influences coming in for Sagittarians concerning finding true love in 2018? Position 9. What are their hopes or fears concerning finding true love in position 10? And what is the overall advice that you have in the outcome position for Sagittarians who want to find true love in 2018? Show me. Alright, so what we're going to do, we are going to split the deck into 3. We're going to collect this back up like so. And remember, we need to turn the cards this way. I've shuffled this way because the cards are facing me. So if I was to turn all the cards over now, you wouldn't be able to see them. So that's why I've got to turn them like that, so you guys can see the cards, okay? So this is what the root issue is. This is what's kicking everything off. So this could be a past situation that happened, or this is, you know, your subconscious, or this is really just the root cause of everything, as to why you want to find true love. This is how things have evolved from the root issue. So this is sort of kicking off stage 1 of you guys finding true love. This is position 3, and this is your goals for finding true love in 2018, and as a result of that, this is where your focus is going to be concerning finding true love in 2018. This is your challenge in terms of finding true love. Now, this challenge could have been going on for an awful long time, not just in 2018, but this is how you'll overcome the challenge. This is the advice for how you're going to overcome this challenge, and this is the second stage to finding true love. This is position 7, which talks about, and this is position 7 stage 3, which talks about how you go about continuing on the journey of finding true love, what you need to do next, in other words. This is who you are, Sagittarians, in terms of finding true love in 2018. Sorry, I keep checking my mic because this mic has a habit of switching itself on mute, which is annoying. This is the influences coming in. This is or things that you need to deal with. This is your hopes or desires concerning finding true love, and this is the overall advice. And we'll flick on some, what we'll do is we'll get clarifiers if we need them on the reading. So, what is the root cause of you guys wanting to find true love in 2018? The King of Coins in the reverse. So some of you guys, it might be that you dealt with, for some of you guys, if you've been married, Sagittarians, you're dealing with somebody who's possibly overly domineering. This person can be the type of person, especially if you're married to a King of Coins in the reverse, they tend to be very mean, or they can be overly domineering, thinking that they are in the right. They don't tend to compromise a lot. They tend to cause a lot of friction and a lot of instability in terms of relationships. So if you've been married or anything like that, Sagittarius, you might have been dealing with such a person. For some of you guys, if you were seeing someone, the King of Coins in the reverse represents someone who is very, excuse me, this person's all about pleasure in the reverse, Sagittarius. So King of Coins reversed isn't the family guy. He's not the person who, I mean, even in the upright, this guy can be pretty damn cautious when it comes to getting a girlfriend or a boyfriend, you know, male or female. Very cautious, but it's only because he's got a greater scheme ahead. He's got a greater plan when he's in the upright. He really wants to settle down, but he's really, really particular. In the reverse, this guy is not only particular, he's also very conceited as an individual. So he tends to have a high opinion of himself, and sometimes he has a low opinion of other people. The King of Coins in the reverse can also be somebody who seeks only pleasure. So they're seeking sex, they're seeking having a good time. They like cigars, fine wine, cars, all of that type of thing. And a lot of what the King of Coins does in the reverse is not with a viewpoint to having a stable, loving, lasting relationship. It's all about their own pleasure. So you might have, the reason why you're seeking love or seeking true love for some of you guys is that you dealt with, potentially for some of you guys, Sagittarians, a very negative energy in this King of Coins in the past. Somebody who often who was possibly not loving enough, somebody who might have been quite mean, somebody who might have even tried to take your finances or tried to steal from you with that King of Coins in the reverse. They might have been manipulative in terms of wanting to get your money, that type of thing. This King of Coins in the reverse, for some of you guys, it might be that you were dealing with an overly dominant partner, somebody who didn't allow for any type of compromises. That might have been extraordinarily status driven, and it might be for some of you guys you dealt with someone where it was really difficult to live up to that person's expectations with the King of Coins in the reverse. As a result of that individual, whoever that individual is for you, Sagittarians, the first stage for you guys finding true love was to put the brakes on the relationship, Chariot reversed. And I think that you guys put because this is your first stage. The first stage to you guys finding true love was to put the brakes on this. Because you've got a fairly, you know, difficult energy is the King of Pentacles reversed. I mean, I'd probably say the King of Wands reverse is probably, or the King of Cups reverse, probably, well, all the Kings in the reverse, especially when it comes to love, can be very, very difficult people, to be perfectly honest with you. King of Cups, very emotionally unavailable, private, quiet, can be quite manipulative as well in the reverse, emotionally manipulative. King of Wands can be a chameleon. 1 minute he's alright, 1 minute he's kicking off, temper tantrums, can be very domineering again with that energy of the King of Wands in the reverse. Somebody who's very, very complex, always got issues. King of Swords in the reverse can be a downright liar again, but he's more mentally manipulative. So he'll tell you stuff, but it's not real. He'll often quite a cruel character as well. He's the King of Swords in reverse, quite manipulative, cruel, abusive as well, makes you feel terrible about yourself, that type of thing. So all the kings in the reverse are not very good. This guy, I would say, is probably the lesser of the four evils, to be honest with you, but still not a particularly nice individual, because he's very status driven. So you'll find it hard in the reverse, especially being with somebody like this for a long time. You'll find it very hard to live up to this person's expectations, because in the upright he's really cautious and he has high expectations. He can do in terms of finding a partner, but in the reverse he's worse. So this is somebody who's difficult to live up to their expectation, also somebody who's very self-conceited, very conceited as an individual, and somebody who likes to only have relationships that pleasure him rather than him pleasuring the other person. And I think that you guys, the first stage for you guys realising, well, I want true love, was to put a halt to this, because Chariot is in the reverse, and Chariot reverse means to stop something or delay it, stop it in its tracks. Because your goal, Sagittarius, for 2018 in terms of finding true love is the High Priestess in the reverse, which is a good card to get, because it says I don't put up with this anymore. High Priestess in the upright would put up with that. She'd put up with him. She really would. She'd sit quietly and she'd be very passive. She wouldn't take any action. But in the reverse, she comes out of her shell. I think for some of you Sagittarians, you had somebody around you who was... It just feels like somebody held you back. But only because your goal is the High Priestess in the reverse for 2018. And High Priestess in the upright, this is somebody who shies away from love often. She's very aloof, very cold, very distant as an individual, is the High Priestess in the upright when it comes to love. Yeah, and you know, yeah, she can be seen as like a mystery woman, but that's the general tone sometimes I've heard. There's several ways that you look at a card, lots of different ways. High Priestess in the upright in terms of love can represent a mysterious individual. It can represent an affair, whether it's High Priestess in the reverse or in the upright. It can represent psychic connections between individuals, but it also represents somebody who's quite aloof. Now, your goal isn't to be this, it is to be the High Priestess reverse, which means to come out of your shell, to be more open, maybe to socialise with a lot more people, maybe to talk to a lot more people, not keep yourself to yourself so much with this High Priestess. I also feel that your goals are to shake off whoever this individual is, because as a result of that, your focus, you know, in order to do this, if your goal is the High Priestess in the reverse, and this is to have, you know, what has been possibly at a distance from you come to you now with this, because the High Priestess in the reverse also reveals, it opens up. It's just like getting the Fool and the Hermit together. The Fool and the Hermit means that a secret is revealed often, because the Hermit tends to hold back on stuff and the Fool tends to come out and reveal it. So this is kind of like a similar tone. You know, your goal is to have something manifest. So the High Priestess in the reverse can almost be like a magician in the upright. It's manifestation. And what is manifestation? Manifestation in anything is something that was hidden now becoming unhidden and showing up. Okay, so this is about manifestation. You guys, I hope your goals are to manifest. If you're the High Priestess in the reverse, you do it by going out there and making your mark, Sagittarius. For some of you guys, it is simply to start manifesting something in your life now with this High Priestess in the reverse. And as a result of that, in order to have these things happen with the High Priestess in the reverse, your focus will be on, there we go, the Ace of Coins. So this is about planting seeds, starting new ventures with that Ace of Coins. Okay, we can't be as simplistic as to say, well, your focus will be on a commitment, because what are you looking to do with the Ace of Coins? You want this, your goal is to have this, the High Priestess. So your goal might be, with the High Priestess reverse, to manifest a long-term, a proper, a nice, a true love with this High Priestess in the reverse. So if we look at the word manifestation with the High Priestess in the reverse, your goals would be to manifest true love with that High Priestess in the reverse, in which your focus is on starting to develop or starting to work towards building some form of commitment with another, but we don't see who the person is yet. So therefore we just probably leave it and say, well, your focus for the rest of 2018 is about having a commitment, starting a commitment, planting a seed in which something grows from something else. Your challenge is the Four of Cups, Sagittarius. So your challenge is meeting people like this. Okay, or your challenge, it's either that you're unhappy with what you get, Four of Cups, or it's this person, the people that you meet. But because your challenge, you want a commitment. Your focus is on having a relationship, starting a friendship, or starting. Oh, sorry, I can't get that. Let me just. Sorry, it always rings when I'm on a reading. your focus with this Ace of Coins is to, when you get the Ace of Coins, we don't, as I said, we don't just want to use the word, we don't just want to use the word commitment with the Ace of Coins. You've got to start something in order to have that, because the Ace of Coins is all about, it's not just about receiving, it's also about giving. It's about planting something. So this is the card about the new job or the new business venture, the new, you know, the new company, where you have this pentacle and you plant it and then you watch it grow from a small seed into a big oak, because the aces are small seeds. So this is rather about, I feel, and also the pentacles represent work. So when the tarot was devised, if you look at the King of Pentacles, he'll always been seen as the worker card. Swords are high birth people, but this is worker cards, okay? So this represents hard work and toil. So your focus will be to work towards this, I feel, with the Ace of Coins. Start planting those small seeds, whether that's working on friendships, building friendships with others, building relationships, but building. It's not about getting involved immediately, I don't think. I think this is more about building with this Ace of Coins, because your challenge is, you might be, you know, unhappy. Four of Cups in relationships. Most of your relationships you've been in might have been unhappy. You know, it might be that your challenge is you're always meeting people like this King of Coins who come in and everything's fine at first, but suddenly they're not interested with that Four of Cups energy. The second stage to how you achieve or how you find true love in 2018, how you overcome this Four of Cups energy. There's something here that you need to release. Judgment. Alright, so I think that your challenge is that this is you. For some of you Sagittarians, that you seem to be consistently unhappy with relationships. Alright, and I don't think it's any fault of your own, but there's a pattern here I think that needs to be released, because you've got Judgment here as the answer to how you release this. This is the second stage to how you start to manifest and to bring true love into your life in 2018, and that is to let go. Because Judgment card means to release, and it means to awaken. And it means to relieve yourself. You see these people here that are all... Now, on this particular card, you see more of somebody who's preaching. Can you see? The look is of somebody, and it looks like Jesus or something like that on the card. Actually, it's quite a religious. There's somebody that's listening, and he's saying, wake up, you know, pay attention to your sins. He's preaching. Can you see on the card? He doesn't have an angel with a trumpet, but he certainly has somebody who's preaching to a crowd of people. So he's saying, wake up, wake up. The best way that you overcome this is by acknowledging something within the self. There's something that you guys need to wake up to with that Judgment card. You need to wake up to something, I feel here. It's the best way. Because your challenge is Four of Cups. Never really being satisfied with what it is that you have. And I'm not surprised if you've had this in your past and you've had to put a halt to it. I'm not surprised. You know, your goal is to manifest something here with this High Priestess. I believe that this is manifestation, because remember, manifestation is all about... The Judgment card is a manifestation card as well. Most of them are. Don't be fooled with the tarot. You know, the Magician talks about, when we talk about manifestation, is something that is hidden now appearing. It manifests, it comes to you, it opens up in your reality. And the High Priestess in the reverse is no different. In the upright, she doesn't manifest because she's too passive, she's too dormant. There's no shoot, no activity. But in the reverse, this is all about activity. So your goals are to manifest with this High Priestess, manifest your deepest desires and wants with the High Priestess in the reverse. And as a result of that, your focus will be on the Ace of Coins. Start planting those seeds, start putting the work and effort into this, because your challenge is you've always been unhappy. Or some of you guys have been very unhappy in the relationships that you've had with that Four of Cups energy. And as a result of that, the best way, the second stage to achieving the love that you want in 2018 is Judgment, facing up to something, listening to your inner voice, listening to what it is that makes you unhappy in relationships, the Judgment energy. Because the third stage of how you guys are going to try and find true love in 2018 is by the Nine of Coins, and that's valuing yourself. Because Nine of Coins is valuing yourself. So the third stage is, well, look at what's around you. Okay? Look at what's around you. Now, let's be careful with the Nine of Coins energy, because this is the third stage of what you need to do in order to manifest true love. The one thing that we can say with the Nine of Coins is, yes, look at what your value is, because it is a card about value. coins represent value. How do we value ourselves? Do we value ourselves by our looks? Do we value ourselves by our money? Do we value ourselves by the jobs we do? Or do we value ourselves by what we give to others? How we pay things forward or pay things backwards? That type of thing. The Nine of Courts can also talk about the gilded cage, though. So how you know, probably get a clarifier with this, though. How you start to manifest true love in 2018 is you do the Nine of Coins. So I feel that this is more about, to be perfectly honest with you, I was about to say something else and then I thought no, it can't be that. I think that this is about putting effort and putting time and putting investment back into who you are. Alright, now some of you guys will think, oh, really? But yeah, I think it is, because that's what the Nine of Coins is. I'm a Nine of Coins lady. I'm single. I take care of myself. I love pampering myself. I love working on my business. I love doing all of that stuff. I love it. I love it. And I'm happy being single. I was seeing someone in the summertime, Sag. It didn't work out. It was pointless. The guy wasn't what I thought he was. And I eventually had to just... But my life has been enriched for it. Because the great thing for me with not being in a relationship is that I get to do exactly what I... Not that I couldn't do what I wanted to do in a relationship, but you've always got to consider somebody else when you're in a relationship, which is fine for a lot of people. But I always feel to myself, being the Nine of Coins person is great, because you get to really focus on yourself. You know, you get to do all, you know, just be who you want to be without somebody around you saying, oh, why don't we do this tonight or that, which is fine. If you want that, then fine. And this, the whole purpose is to find true love. But I do feel that there is a starting point, because your challenge is the Four of Cups. Some of you guys are not satisfied with the Four of Cups energy. Some of you guys are very dissatisfied. Four of Cups is dissatisfaction, and that's what your challenge is, dissatisfaction. And how do you overcome dissatisfaction, not being happy with what is given, what is placed in front of you in terms of a relationship? Well, you either start to make better judgments with the Judgment energy showing there as stage 3. This is making better judgments. Or you start to really look at who you are and you start to understand and start facing up to things, because Judgment is also facing up to things. This man is talking, he looks like Jesus though, talking to the people. He's preaching and he's saying, look at yourself, look, blah blah blah. He's preaching a sermon to the individuals, and he's preaching a sermon because he wants them to awaken them to something. So for some of you guys, it's all about inner awakening, self-awakening, because third stage is look at who you are. Nine of Coins, start to value who you are, start to understand, start to pamper yourself. Nine of Coins is all about pampering, looking after yourself, going out to lunch, going on holiday, you know, rubbing yourself down with nice creams, wearing nice stuff, feeling good about yourself. So this is all about, how do you start to manifest true love? It's all about feeling good about yourself. Because you had this, some of you Sagittarians did in your foundation in 2017 and before that. You had this. You had some self-serving, narcissist, possibly a narcissist, King of Coins in the reverse. Somebody who wasn't loyal. Somebody who wasn't grounded, somebody who wasn't stable, somebody who possibly wasn't consistent, somebody who could have been overly domineering, somebody who was overly sexed but only cared about the sex, somebody who only cared about whether you looked amazing or not, because he's somebody who is very, very proud in the reverse, somebody who only cares about status, so maybe you had to be a certain way or do a certain thing for this individual to please him or her. The good thing is, in your stage 1 of finding true love, you put a stop to this with the Chariot. Because your goal is the High Priestess. It is not to be a Woltering Violet as well. You're not looking to be a passive little doormat with the High Priestess in the upright. You're looking to be active, and you're looking to say, look, take a stand, High Priestess in the reverse. But also to manifest what it is that you want. You don't want this. But you need to value yourself. This is the third stage. Somewhere along the line, some of you guys probably weren't valuing who you were, because it's saying the Nine of Coins is what you need to do next. Some of you guys do need to be on your own, because Nine of Coins is about being on your own and being independent. So for some of you Sagittarians, you might need to be on your own with the Nine of Coins, okay, to take time out to value yourself and to focus on what makes you happy rather than somebody else. Right now, you guys are the Hierophant, which is a good card to get if you're showing as a Hierophant, because I do feel that you are, and I think that you are coming to recognition here Sag, of who you are and what you want. Because Sagittarius is all, the Hierophant is all about teaching, spiritual guidance, getting to know ourselves, understanding through our own spiritual map what we should do and what we shouldn't do. It's all about that inner voice that says to you, this is right and this is wrong. This Hierophant has a very strong moral code. So some of you guys are very strong. You've got a very strong moralistic code. You've got a very strong code as to what you want. You're very traditional, some of you guys are, as people. So you're into monogamy. And you're into having, if somebody says to you, I love you, I'm hoping that we'll get married and all of the rest of it, you'll take them at their word with the Hierophant energy, because Hierophants mean honesty and truth. And, sticking to the truth and that moralistic code of conduct. You keep vows, with the Hierophant energy. This is all about honesty. So you guys are very traditional in the way that you are and how you approach love and relationships with the Hierophant. You've got a very strong code of conduct and a very strong set of beliefs as well with the Hierophant energy. And as a result of that, that's why I feel that your focus will be on the Ace of Coins, finding something that you can believe in, that you can start to nurture, build, so that it goes the long term, eventually ends up being a long-term relationship. Because in your foundation, there was a King of Coins in the reverse. Somebody who wasn't like that at all. And you put a stop to this shit here, because your goals are to have this. You were challenged, but you're challenged by this. And some of you guys, there's a wake-up call that you need to have with that Judgment energy. And for some of you guys with the Judgment card, it might be that how you overcome that challenge is by making better judgments, perhaps. Coming in, what you guys are going to need to deal with in terms of love, for some of you in 2018, is the Five of Coins in the reverse. So it might be for some of you guys, somebody wants to return. Five of Coins in the reverse says, I want to come out of the cold. Okay, for some of you, and I don't think it's you wanting to, either way, you're going to find stability. There's a stabilizing force coming in for you with this Five of Coins in reverse. Five of Coins reverse either means I want to come in from the cold, so this could be somebody around you. Maybe if we get a court card here, it will show us who it is that, there's somebody here. But I think that you put a stop on this. And I think if you've put a stop on this, what you'll experience, especially if somebody wants to come back in from the cold, Saggies, in 2018, it will be because they've probably learnt some form of a lesson. Because you don't have a lesson to learn here, but somebody sure as hell does. You do have a lesson because you got Judgment. Judgment is also a lesson as well. Okay? But you're Hierophant, so you're already there. You're already there. You're already at that place of spiritual enlightenment with the Hierophant energy. We can all be spiritually enlightened and still have lessons to learn. That's not the point. Everybody's got a lesson to learn in life, Everyone does. So I'm trying to get something off the screen. Why is it on the screen? Let me just put that up again. There we go. We all have lessons to learn. Doesn't matter how spiritually enlightened. It's like being a tarot reader. I'm a tarot reader. I know a lot about tarot. But there is a million more things I've yet to learn. I'd like to go and study with the world's greatest tarot reader if I could find one, go to a lovely monastery and spend 6 months just reading old scripts and learning new things, and that would be my ideal, because I love tarot and I would love to just section myself off for 6 months and do that. If I had the funds to do that and everything was taken care of financially, I would just go and take 6 months out and do that and train with the most amazing tarot reader in the world, somebody who knows everything about everything with tarot. So it doesn't matter how enlightened you are with the Hierophant. You're always learning something else. And this is your learning Judgment. This is here. This is how you overcome this unhappiness. You do Judgment. You start to recognize and face up to the truth. Because this is about facing up to things as well, the Judgment card is. Somebody here might want to come back, or this is you're finding your stability again. I don't think that this is you guys wanting to go back to this, though. Your hopes or fears. The Fool is the fear. But the hope can be the Fool in the reverse as well. If it's a hope for you guys, Sagittarius, it will be not to rush into anything. Because the Fool in the reverse never ever rushes. In the upright, he always leaps before he thinks. He doesn't think, he just leaps into things. And then he's like, ah, shit. So he'll always go with his first gut reaction. If he likes someone and if he gets on with them, he's like, oh, let's go on holiday. And it's only been like 3 weeks into the relationship, you know. This person will always rush. Sometimes a Fool in the upright can mean short-term relationships as well. So it might be for some of you guys, if you've had short relationships for a long time, you always have sort of a 3 or a 6 month relationship. The hope might be, well, I hope that the relationship, remember the reversal is the opposite of the upright, or the absence of the energy. So it might be for some of you guys, well, I hope that something takes longer and is more drawn out and I get to know this person with the Fool in the reverse. For some of you guys, it might be that your fears are, or you know, your fears are rushing in with the Fool in. So your fears are oh, no, I mean, it might be for some of you guys, your fears are being overly cautious as well. But, you know, it can't be helped if you've been through something here. The overall advice for finding true love in 2018 is the Devil in the reverse. You need to release old patterns, and it's saying it with the Judgment card, because the pattern is here. That's where we need to look at the reading and say, well, where is the pattern? If the universe is saying that Sagittarius with the Devil in the reverse needs to release toxic relationships, old patterns of behaviour, being stuck in a groove, releasing, you know, relationships that are no good for Sagittarius in 2018 in order to find true love, then where is the pattern? It must be here. It must be here. Your pattern must be in your challenge position, 4 of Cups. Because your challenge is that you know, there's always a dissatisfaction for some reason with your relationships, and that's the pattern that needs to be released. But how do you release? The overall advice is where you need to release. You need to release this pattern here. But how do you release this pattern here? It's by judgment. There's something that you either need to face up to with this Judgment card in the reverse, in the upright, sorry. All right, there's something in yourself that you need to awaken and face up to, with that Judgment card in the upright showing here. We're going to get some clarifiers on some of these areas. I think this probably is the most interesting reading I've done for the signs, actually, Sagittarius. I don't know why, I just think it's really interesting. I want to see why your challenge is the 4 of Cups. Let's have a look at why your challenge is that 4 of Cups. 10 of Wands. Okay. Well, I think that you know, this 4 of Cups is all your challenges, is that your unhappiness within relationships is always bringing burdens, or this could be somebody's unhappiness with relationships is always bringing burdens. I think that, and also I think that you tend to hide, because the 10 of Cups is to hide, is to conceal. So it might be that your challenge is that you're always concealing your unhappiness. It might be, if we read between the lines with those 2 cards, that this is about you always just going with the flow in relationships. Even when they're bad, you stick in them. Alright? So your challenge is that you find to have relationships, but it ends up that somebody's unhappy within the relationship, and it tends to bring a big burden with the 10 of Wands energy showing there. So unhappiness within a relationship is bringing big burdens, and that seems to be your challenge. Okay? Because in your foundation, we got this King of Coins in the reverse. Page of Swords. Okay, so I think that somebody, I think that what happened for some of you guys is you had a King of Coins in the reverse, somebody who refused to tell the truth. Now, the Page of Swords in the upright, this is about communication, yes, but you got to be careful with these cards, because they mean multiple things. Page of Swords in the upright can also mean somebody who holds secrets and withholds information. Somebody who might not contact you, for example. Somebody who delays contacting you, or somebody who gives you bad news. So I think that, because I think that you guys put a stop on this, because this is your first stage of finding true love, was the Chariot. And this is something that you should have been doing, or you did. I think that in your past, in your foundation, what sparked off all of this thing with you saying, right, you know what, I'm not being satisfied in the relationship that I'm in with an individual, and now I'm going on a course of finding true love, is because there was a King of Coins, somebody who was quite self-serving, selfish, overly dominant, status-driven, pleasure-seeking individual here, who was withholding who they were. They were withholding, but they weren't withholding who they were. They weren't. This isn't about hiding who you are, the Page of Swords. This is about withholding information. Alright? So it's not like we got King of Coins reverse, Magician reverse. You know, a conceited individual who puts on a big illusion, who hides who they are. or a person with a secret, maybe the moon. We got somebody here. I think there was somebody around you who withheld who they were, communicatively wise. I think that somebody around you, possibly a little bit of a negative energy, I would say, Sagittarius, was withholding information. They weren't contacting you, they weren't talking to you, that type of thing, with the Page of Swords showing there. And as a result of that, you guys, stage 1 of finding true love was the Chariot in the reverse, and that is to put a halt on proceedings. There you go, Ace of Wands, by completely not speaking to this individual. So I think that you put a halt on proceedings by blocking this person. Some of you guys might have shut down a Facebook account. Some of you guys might have deleted somebody from Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or whatever social medium you use to speak to people. I think that you guys put a halt to proceedings with this individual by cutting this person off on social media, perhaps, with the Eight of Wands in the reverse. Because your goal is the High Priestess in the reverse. And let's have a look at what comes up with the High Priestess in the reverse. So your goal is the High Priestess in the reverse, Knight of Swords. That's interesting. So your goals are to, with this High Priestess in the reverse, I think it's, for some of you guys, it's to come out of a shell. But I think it's to manifest. But, you know, you've got the Knight of Swords here. And the Knight of Swords is changes. And the Knight of Swords is quick changes, but it's also I think if your goal for love is the High Priestess in the reverse, and this is to manifest, but it's not to manifest the Knight of Swords, a person. I think it's to manifest swift changes. I would probably look at that and say that that was swift changes. It's not about a message, because Knight of Swords is communication, it's email, for example, but also as an energy, this is about swift changes, quick changes. It's not unexpected changes, because you wouldn't want to manifest an unexpected change. You want to manifest a change, and it's not a person. So, because who wants to have a Knight of Swords rushing in? Knight of Swords can be a bad influence on an individual, unfortunately. Okay? Knight of Swords can be as bad as a Knight of Wands. Alright, especially because they can be a little bit Jack the Laddie type individual. So it isn't to manifest that. It's to manifest, I feel, changes with the Knight of Swords. Energy showing here. Because as a result of that, in order to do that, you know that you've got to do this Ace of Coins business. So you've got to focus on the Ace of Coins. Showing up here. Queen of Swords. So, Queen of Swords is all about taking control. And I think that your focus will be on planting seeds so that it enables you to take control or to allow. It's really weird with that Queen of Swords energy, because the Queen of Swords is all about communication. She's not always about cutting people out. Very weird reading in a way. It's not a weird reading, it's just somewhere along the line there are some of these cards that are pretty kind of like, what is this trying to say? Your focus will be on commitment. I think that this is planting seeds in order to gain longevity in relationships. But it feels to me, in a way, Sagittarius, that you want to take control of this. Queen of Swords says, come hither. And she says, but only so far. So she's the one in control. I think your focus is to have a commitment in which you are in control with this Queen of Swords energy showing here. Alright? Because you're not trying to get the truth from anyone. You're already done with whoever this individual is. So this isn't about backtracking to someone. This isn't about backtracking, this is about moving forward. In your foundation, you've got a pretty self-absorbed individual who tends to hide the truth from you. They don't talk to you, they're not communicating properly with you with the Page of Swords. And as a result of that, you put the halt on the situation by blocking them probably on social media, blocking them, you know, their phone call on your mobile, whatever, because your goals are to manifest quick changes, I feel. I would probably say manifestation, High Priestess in the reverse, changes with the Knight of Swords, swift changes with the Knight of Swords in the reverse. Also, the High Priestess in the reverse, it might be to ready yourself, because the High Priestess is no longer a passive entity when she's reversed. In the upright, she's waiting, but in the reverse, she's ready. So it might be that your goals are that to be ready for those changes, or it could be maybe the goal is to be ready now for someone to swiftly come in, because knights do swiftly come in, knight in shining armour. but let's just use the analogy of swiftness. It might be to ready yourself with that High Priestess in the reverse for a knight to come in, for someone to swiftly come into your life. And as a result of that, your focus will be on, I feel, building relationships, maybe with this Ace of Coins, in which you have some form of control. Because your challenge is that you've always been unhappy. Unhappiness in relationship has put, I think it's taken a great toll on your lives. It's made you feel very unbalanced, very burdened, very tired. That's why that you overcome these types of burdens, this type of unhappiness that brings some form of burdens into your life, that's burdening you guys, is by doing the Judgment energy. Okay, so this is the second stage to finding true love. And let's have a look at what shows up with Judgment. Okay. I think that the best way that you overcome this is by making a decision with the Judgment energy to look at different ways, look at different people. Because if you're possibly always looking at the same type, it might be for some of you guys, you're always looking at the same type of person because you're a very traditional type of individual. So you might have a certain idea. For example, it might be that you have an idea that you only go out with 6'5", blonde-haired, blue-eyed guys if you're a woman, or you only go out with, you know, 6'1", brown-haired, brown-eyed women if you're a guy, or if you're a guy you might do men, if you're a woman you might do women, whichever way you want to do it. You know, you have a certain idea, because the Hierophant can be stuck in his ways like the Emperor. He has a certain vision and a certain idea. He's got a belief system, and that belief system can be anything. It's not just religious factors or educational factors. It's any type of factor is the Hierophant. It's just a set of beliefs, something that you adhere to and you believe in. It's a regulation, you know. And perhaps the best way to overcome this is by making a decision to look closely at the choices. Because the Seven of Cups is all about choices. But sometimes the Seven of Cups encourages us to look closer at the choices that we're making. But also the Seven of Cups can say, well, you need to put things in order. Everything's out of disarray. So it might be that you need to make a decision to put things in order regarding this. Why? Why am I so unhappy? Why is it that my challenge is that unhappiness is always bringing burdens to me in relationships? Why am I always burdened by this? It's almost like a cross that I bear. It's almost like you guys bear a cross, some of you guys here. And as a result of that, it might be, well, the best way to deal with this, the best way for me to manifest new love, true love in my life, is just to make a decision here. Or to, you know, pass a judgment on that I need with this Seven of Cups to make better choices, okay, in terms of love. Or to look at different options for love. Make a judgment that I need to look at different options for love, not just the same type, because you might be just attracting in the same type because you only think that far in terms of that type of individual. It might be that there are better choices, better love that is falling through the holes because you seem to just go for a certain type of individual. For some of you Sagittarians right now, you guys are the Hierophant. You might even be married, some of you guys, with that Hierophant, or committed to an individual with the Hierophant energy. So some of you guys, it might be that you are in a commitment with a Queen of Pentacles or with a Taurus, Virgo or Capricorn individual. So some of you guys might be in a commitment as you're watching this with a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn individual. But this person, the reason that everything is happening is that this person is not being honest with you. King of Coins in the reverse. That might be a very self-serving person. It might be for some of you guys, this person has money issues that they're hiding from you and they're not telling you about that. But I don't think it's that, because you guys have put a halt on the situation by blocking them. Eight of Wands. So I think that this is more, you know, it's not as serious as that. The trouble is, whoever this individual is, some of you guys might be committed to an individual. Or you might have been committed, or you might still feel committed to an individual here. Because I think that you are committed to an individual here. Male or female is the Queen of Pentacles. Could be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn individual. But I do feel that you are committed to an individual here. Some of you guys might be committed to, with that Hierophant energy, to nurturing or finding a relationship that you can nurture with that Queen of Coins energy showing there. What you need to do coming in is the Nine of Coins. Some of you guys, it will be on your own. Some of you guys, you have to find time to value yourself with that Nine of Coins energy and the Ace of Wands in the reverse. I think that what you need to do coming in is steer clear of short-lived or short-term attractions with the Ace of Wands in the reverse, because Ace of Wands in reverse is a short-term attraction. It's an attraction that happens and then it just flows out. And you can see with the Nine of Coins, whenever you see this woman on her own, she's usually steering clear. So if you got a Six of Wands with her, this can be a woman on her own looking back at a lover that has gone. So this is almost like, because she's so independent, what you need to do in order to manifest true love is steer clear of things or relationships or people that get you hot underneath the cover real quick, but phase out just as quick. Okay, so this is about kind of just being able to be a little bit more perceptive in terms of who comes into your life, Sagittarius, here. Because what you're going to experience coming in is this Five of Coins in the reverse, and we'll see what shows up with the Five of Coins in the reverse. The Empress in the reverse. Some of you guys, you might want to repeat old patterns again, returning. I'm seeing the Five of Coins in the reverse, returning to someone who can't give you anything. The Empress in the reverse shows a very non-maternal, clinical, conceited, very similar to the King of Coins in the reverse in a certain way. You might, I'm seeing you guys coming in, it might be that you're tempted to return to the Empress in the reverse. So you're tempted to return to somebody who can't give you, who can't nurture you, who you can't nurture, who you can't work with, who you can't, you can't have a flourishing relationship. But there are certain cards that show returns in the tarot. Death in the reverse is one. Eight of Cups in the reverse is another card that can show a return, for example. Yeah, Five of Coins in the reverse can show somebody who wants to come in from the card, and this must be you. I'm seeing you guys probably wanting to, because I don't see you guys as being the Empress in the reverse. This must be whoever this King of Coins stroke Queen of Coins dude is. So I see some of you guys wanting to return to such an individual in 2018. Now your hopes or fears will be this Fool energy, and let's have a look what shows up with the Fool. See why your hopes or fears are the Fool in the reverse. Three of Cups in the reverse. Your hopes are to be cautious of the Three of Cups in the reverse. So you might hope to be cautious of somebody who's a cheater. So be on your guard. Fool in the reverse is like the Nine of Wands in the upright. It's all about being cautious and being on your guard. So your hopes would be, well, I better be on my... I'm hoping that I can be as surveillant and as wary. You're hoping that you're going to be, that your cautiousness and your wariness and your sixth sense is going to kick in with that Fool energy around anyone with this Three of Cups in the reverse that doesn't have your best interests at heart, or who might want a one-sided relationship, or your hopes are not to move towards relationships that are not for your best or your highest good with this Three of Cups, or relationships that make you unhappy. Three of Cups in the reverse is unhappiness. Three of Cups in the reverse is severance. Three of Cups in the reverse is cheating. Three of Cups in the reverse is to deactivate, to leave a team or to leave a group of people. But you've got the Fool in the reverse. So I feel that your hopes would be to be very wary of relationships that make you unhappy with the Three of Cups in the reverse. And therefore, the advice in the outcome, if you want to find true love in 2018, Sagittarius, is the Fool in the reverse. Sorry, is the Devil in the reverse. And let's see what shows up with this Devil in the reverse. Four of Coins. I think that you need to release static situations, because the Devil in the reverse means to release. And the Four of Coins is a comfort zone. So in itself, it's kind of like a pattern of behaviour. You need to release, or you need to not be afraid to detach yourself from a very much a comfort zone, a pattern of behaviour, I feel, with that Four of Coins in the upright. Anything you're holding on to, Four of Coins means to hold on to, but the Devil card tells you to release it, because it's a release card. So release anything that you're holding on to that doesn't serve your... don't be afraid with the Devil in the reverse to release this Four of Coins in the upright, okay? Because it's not going to serve you. You need to release the Four of Coins in the upright by retracting, by going within, by cutting yourself off from whoever these enemies. Because here, you might, coming in, you might want to return to a person who's not going to serve your highest good. Here's Sagittarius. The Empress in the reverse is pretty much a non-giving, non-loving, non-caring, non-nurturing individual. Similar to the non-nurturing, non-caring, non-giving, non-kind King of Coins in the reverse. Somebody who is very self-serving, dominant, overbearing, status-driven, greedy is in the reverse. Who keeps things from you, who doesn't contact you and doesn't speak to you. Some of you guys are still committed. You might be in a marriage with someone like this. Alright, because it's the same, you know, the same zodiac sign. So you might be, some of you guys, it might be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn in the past. Some of you guys, right, you know, in 2018, it's either that you're still committed to, I feel, a Queen of Coins, or you were committed to a Queen of Coins. Maybe this is in spirit, you're committed to a Queen of Coins energy for some of you guys. Let's go through the reading again. How does Sagittarius go about finding true love in 2018? Well, you guys are showing us the Hierophant, so I feel that you are you're still holding some form of vow, whether it was an official vow of marriage or whether it was a spiritual vow of the self. You're still very much kind of invowed to this. Is there such a word as invowed? I still think that you're still very much sort of spiritually or officially committed to an individual here with this Queen of Cups energy. But in your foundation, the reason why you're looking for true love is because whoever this individual is or was, they were someone who was self-serving, could have been quite critical, very status-driven, very dominant as an individual, very pleasure-seeking, didn't really care about pleasuring you but pleasuring themselves with sex, food, wine, whatever it is. Very much into very earthly driven, not so much about the romance and the love, but more about what it could do for them in a type of a sort of pleasure seeking way. And I feel that this type of individual, which I'm reading as the Queen of Pentacles, was somebody who possibly didn't communicate much with you with the Page of Swords energy. I think they held back on a lot of communication with you. They probably didn't communicate with you for a day, or they could have stopped communicating with you. And I think as a result of that, stage one of you guys finding true love was with the Chariot. Okay, that was to put a halt to all proceedings concerning this person by, with the Eight of Wands in the reverse, probably blocking them on social media, blocking their number, that type of thing. Because your goal for 2018 is to, with the High Priestess, is to release. Some of you guys, it might be with the High Priestess, is to release your inner confidence, because the Knight of Swords is confidence. It might be to release your confidence to pursue other individuals. It might be for some of you guys, you want to manifest changes, immediate changes concerning whoever the people are that you've dealt with in the past, whoever this is. And as a result of that, I feel that you guys will be planting new seeds with that Ace of Coins energy, looking to plant seeds in which you can see in the future some form of a commitment evolving, in which you, with this Queen of Swords, I feel, will be fully in control, because you are looking to, I feel, release some form of changes or manifest changes in terms of how you have been dealing with situations before. Because your challenge is, you've always been unhappy. Unhappy relationships have really taken a toll on some of you guys with that Ten of Wands. And this is why I think that you want to kind of start focusing on having commitments in which you are the one in the driving seat, I feel, with this Queen of Swords energy. Because you've been so unhappy in relationships, and I think they've really brought a burden to you. As a result of that, the second stage of how you find true love in 2018, Sagittarius, is by making a judgment, a decision to look at other choices or other ways, or maybe other people in which you possibly, with this Lovers card, can connect. Because the Lovers is all about a true partnership, a true union, and the Seven of Cups is about other choices. Look at other options for love. Make a promise to yourself with the Judgment, that card, that you're going to start looking at other options for love. Because there are other options out there, and not everybody will be the same. The third stage of how you start to find true love through 2018, going into 2019, Sagittarius, is by avoiding or making sure that you isolate yourself from people who only want quick flings. Ace of Wands in the reverse. From people who don't want anything long term. You know who they are because you've been through it so many times. You see, it shows in your challenge position. It's your challenge. So when you've got a challenge, it's something that's always challenging you. And this is unhappiness bringing huge burdens. 10 of Wands. You might be unhappy with people who seem to carry their burdens to you as well. I.e. people who don't seem to want to communicate properly with you because they've got shit going on. But you need to isolate yourself. 9 of Coins can also be seen as an isolation card. So you need to isolate yourself from this type of energy. Because coming in, some of you guys might find in 2018 Sagittarius that you want to return to such a person as this. To somebody who can't nurture you, who can't support you, somebody who's cold, clinical. You might find that you want to return to that. But your hopes will be to be more cautious, more on guard, more intuitive with that Fool in the reverse around relationships that are actually going to make you feel unhappy. And therefore the outcome, the advice for how you eventually start to find true love in 2018 and beyond, Sagittarius, is to release the patterns that you have developed with that 4 of Coins by completely withdrawing and retreating with the Hermit. You need to cut off whoever, whatever, dead. Just cut it off dead. Because some of you guys will be tempted probably to return to that. But you can't. You've got to isolate yourself from anything that doesn't have the potential for long-term gain. Ace of Wands in the reverse. Anything that is poor, dead. Something that doesn't have the potential to grow. Because Ace of Wands in the upright is all about growth. So cut yourself off from anything that is tainted, or poor, or dead, or rotten, and doesn't have the potential to grow. Because you could get tempted to return to a person that doesn't enable you to evolve and grow as a human being. Empress in the reverse. Outcome advice. Let go of patterns that you're holding on to. 4 of Cups. 4 of Coins, sorry. By completely cutting off and retreating from those who cannot serve you going forward. Let's have a quick look at your advice cards. Angels, romance angels, what is the advice that you have for Sagittarius in terms of how they find true love in 2018? What is the advice in one card? It says a happy change. This is it, a happy change. It says, your angels have heard your prayers and have banded together to create real and joyful changes in your life. Events begin to move forward and great progress will now be possible. You may need to make some rapid decisions, and that's probably what you're looking to do there. Due to the suddenness of activity, be confident, there you go, and trust the guidance you receive. I think that your goals are to bring in, because the High Priestess in the reverse is to bring things in. It's now an open card rather than a closed one. So your goals will be to bring in rapid changes, I feel here. And it's saying, your advice is, you've got happy changes coming, but be ready to receive them. And we said that you were ready now to receive somebody coming in as well. What is the advice from the romance angels? Universe, Spirit. What advice do you have for Sagittarius on this reading, on how they find true love in 2018? What is the advice that you have for Sagittarius? Getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. So this is all about really getting to know each other, which is shown here. You need to isolate yourself from anyone who just wants a quick fix. Ace of Wands in the reverse. And that's probably showing up because of this. It might be that somebody comes back and they say, look, why don't we? And you say, okay, why don't I return to the cold, hard, nasty piece of shit that you really are? Yeah, let's go for it. It's telling you isolate yourself from it. You can't go anywhere. It lacks any growth. Ace of Wands reverse, Empress reverse. Both cards about growth in the upright. In the reverse, it's dead. The whole crop is finished. You can't do anything with it, Sagittarius. No point. Take your time to get to know someone else. You got choices here. It's the best way you overcome this. Okay? The final area. And also, the way that you overcome this, because it might be that for some of you guys, your challenge is there is unhappiness here that brings burdens. That's your challenge. But it might be that you're always putting up with stuff, which is why this is such a burden. Rather than killing it dead, you put up with it. And it might be that the way that you overcome this is that you need to make a judgment. You need to realise with the Judgment card that there are many loves, because the Seven of Cups is many and the Lovers is love. So don't just feel that one person is your soulmate, because you can have many soulmates out there. The Lovers is a soulmate card. Seven of Cups, many. Lovers, love, soulmates. There are many soulmates. Get to know it. Judgment. Don't put all your eggs into one basket with one or two people. There are many loves out there for you. There's many soulmates waiting for you. But if you keep on with one person, Sagittarius, you'll never get to know somebody else. If you go back to whoever this dude is, I'm seeing somebody wanting to come back to some of you guys or wanting to stick around. You're never going to get to know the many loves that are out there for you. The final advice is the lesson that you guys need to learn in terms of finding true love in 2018. And let's have a look. Universe, Spirit, what is the advice that you have for Sagittarius? What is the lesson that they need to learn from this deck of majors? What is the lesson that Sagittarius needs to learn in terms of finding true love in 2018? Temperance is the lesson. Be patient. But also, it's a card about finding balance and finding your other half, finding your core. So the lesson that you need to learn is if something isn't balanced, if something isn't good, if something doesn't complete you, if something doesn't make you feel whole, then this isn't the thing to hold on to. You know, God, we've gone up to an hour. I do apologise. Very quickly, time and time again, I get clients coming to me and saying, you know, oh, there's this person and this, that and the other, and I'm still holding on and they still could. You know, this isn't temperance. You're not getting your fulfillment. It's not a balanced relationship. The lesson that you need to learn, if there's something, and this is you, Sagittarius, actually, you need to learn your own lesson, because temperance is showing as you. If there is a person here that you cannot compromise with, that you cannot find balance with, that you cannot find a way to work with the temperance energy, let it go, because it's pointless. Let it go. They're completely different to what you want. If you can't find the balance in a relationship, the spiritual, the physical, the mental, the emotional balance, all of those things within the temperance energy, you got nothing with this individual. Get to know the partner. There's many other loves out there. There's many other soulmates. Don't put up with shit because you think that this is the only one. I don't think you did anyway, because you let someone go and you blocked them. But before you did that, don't put up with it. Before you did that, don't put up with that, because there's many other loves out there. Many other soulmates. A soulmate isn't cut down to one or two people. It's cut down to many until you find the right combination. The advice for you is temperance. Find that right combination. The lesson to finding true love is it's got to be the right combination with temperance. Nobody is perfect. But if the bad outweighs the good, if the scales are tipped too much in one direction, it's a pointless act. Find your tribe. Find the right person for you who you feel at least that you have the most in common with, and who you feel at least the most comfortable and content with. Because when you've got all of those things, the laughter, the life, the love, the honesty, you really can't go wrong. Love you guys very much, and I will speak to you on your love reading for February. Take care, sweethearts. Bye-bye.